Welcome back for the U46 Sky Talk for the weeks of Monday, April 19th through Monday, May 3rd, 2021. We're going to start in the evening of April 19th. The sun's just about to set. It's 7 o'clock and it's still perfectly light out is what I mean. And I'm going to fast forward the spin of the Earth a little bit so we get there faster. Sunset's not till 7:36. I've been noticing that the days are longer for sure. In 2 weeks, on May 3rd, the sunset's going to be almost 20 minutes later at 7:52 p.m., and it's going to continue to get later every single day between now and the summer solstice. And we are at 7:03, so here we go. As the sun goes down, the sky starts to change. You'll notice that tonight, the April 19th, there is an almost half moon. Tomorrow is the actual first quarter moon when the moon is perfectly half, but it's really close to it today. And the sun has now set, and very quickly the sky starts to get darker, and we'll start to notice stars any moment. I'm going to pull us down a little bit here. There we go. There's the first star. That's probably Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. We've got a planet, and right there is Mars, not one of the brightest objects in the sky anymore. Mars has been, we've been pulling away from Mars, getting farther and farther. We've got a bunch of satellites going by pretty quickly because I'm having time move pretty quickly. 8:25, let's slow it down to regular time now. Those satellites are still going to go by. They go by for about 2 hours after sunset. Sometimes it seems like more than one per minute, or maybe one every 5 minutes or so. Very easy to spot those human-made objects. But in this time of year, in the southwestern sky, we have a lot of fantastic stuff to look at. Orion the Hunter, a wonderful winter constellation, is still up and bright. There's the 3 in a row that make up his belt. Follow that belt to the right, and you get to Taurus the Bull, that letter V-shaped constellation. The belt points right to it. Orion, Taurus the Bull's horns that aim up in the sky. We've got one here and one here. Well, Mars is just between and right above them tonight. That's where Mars is in the sky. Again, it's not super bright. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky. It's part of the big dog that actually kind of looks like a dog. There's his nose. He's like looking at us. Picture these as his ears. Here's his front paw, and there's another front paw right there. His spine would be along here, and there's his back legs. It actually kind of looks like a dog in the sky. The big dog, Orion's hunting dog. Procyon is the little dog. It's just matched with this little partner next to it. Not much to it. Doesn't really look like a dog, but that is considered the little dog. Those are both Orion's hunting dogs in the sky. And here are the drawings if you like to see those. And Aldebaran in Taurus the Bull, and Aries, the ram, is right behind this tree. Taurus, and then we have Gemini, the twins right here, are all constellations along the ecliptic, that path that the sun and the moon, there it is, the sun and the moon and the planets all follow across the sky because our planets are all pretty much on the same plane. And what I mean when I say that is that we have a solar system in which, as the planets go around the sun, they just don't do it willy-nilly going every which way like thread or like yarn on a big ball of yarn. They all go around the sun in the same direction, and they're all on the same plane. If I'm in my spacecraft here and I want to look at the solar system from the side, it would look like a line because that's the shape of the orbits. They all are on that same plate. So what that means is, as a human from planet Earth, or as a person on any of the planets, as you look towards the sun and you follow its path across the sky during the day, that's also where you'd find other planets and where you'd find the moon. So that path across the sky that we call the ecliptic has a certain sequence of constellations as well. And they're commonly called the constellations of the Zodiac. So if I put them up there again, the drawings, back up a little bit so we can see more, we would have Aries down here, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo is the next one in line. Let's go a little bit more to the south so we can see more of those. And one other thing I'd like to do is show you where the moon's going to be the next few nights, because the moon moves in its orbit every night. Against the stars, it moves to the left. So if we are looking at the moon tonight, and it happens to be right in the shoulder of Gemini the twins, these two matching stars right here are Gemini the twins. The moon is right in the shoulder of that guy. And on April 20th, tomorrow night, okay, everybody look at the moon. It's going to be there. April 20th. On April 21st, it's going to be right by Leo the lion. On April 22nd, it's going to be still inside Leo the lion. It spends about 2 or 3 days in Leo. And then if we go to the 23rd, it's in the head of Virgo. And then the 24th, still in Virgo. 25th, still in Virgo. 26th. When it's full, on the 26th, it'll be in the foot of the constellation called Virgo the Maiden. And that path across the sky is right here. That's the same path that during the day the sun crosses. Now, I want to go back a couple of days to the 22nd. On the early morning of the 22nd, so let's go to the night of the 21st, when the moon is kind of in Leo's mouth. That night, we're going to have a meteor shower. It's not a super fantastic one. The Lyrids can be good, and they happen best after midnight, really early morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning or so. And we call it the Lyrids because they appear to be coming from the constellation Lyra, which is which has the bright star in it that's called Vega. So I'm going to go ahead and shift our view kind of towards the east right now because I want to watch Vega come up. About 8:45, maybe 9 o'clock or so. There's a really bright star that rises in the east. Oh, there's 2 of them, actually. So first of all, we've got Arcturus. Arcturus is a very bright star that is the handle of the Big Dipper points to it. So this way is northeast. So as we're looking northeast, we've got the Big Dipper. There's the handle Arcs to Arcturus and Spicon to Spica. But Vega is just coming up at 9 o'clock. So if I fast forward even more, Vega is the radiant point. This constellation here is called Lyra. It's a harp. That's the constellation. There's the drawings if you like to see those. And if we go to maybe 3 in the morning, that's about the best time to start looking because that's when the Vega's the highest in the sky. The gibbous moon has set. And this is where it'll look like they're coming from. Now, don't stare at Lyra and think you're going to see shooting stars there. That's not where you see them from. What it means is if you were driving a car in a night where there's those big snowflakes, it kind of looks like the rear view mirror here is the radiant point. It looks like that's where the snowflakes are coming from. They're all moving away from the rear view mirror. But if you want to look at the flakes of snow, you don't stare at the rear view mirror. The radiant point is the rear view mirror. So when we have the Lyrid meteor shower, where you're going to want to see shooting stars, they're not going to be at Vega, at the constellation Lyra. They're going to be all around it. So you're going to want to look near the horizon. You're going to want to look almost straight up in the sky. You're going to want to look in every direction to try to spot some of those shooting stars, also known as meteors. That's the correct scientific term for them. I could even turn a button on that will show us. The Lyrids are going to be right here near Vega, which is the star in Lyra, the brightest star. And if I leave these on, sometimes this program does show us meteors that might be coming from there. So I'll leave that on, see if we can spot one on this date here, April 22nd. If we keep going on April 22nd, and for the next 2 weeks or so, for sure, early in the morning, we've got a couple of planets that come up, Saturn and Jupiter. They're already up right now. It's 4:37 in the morning. Saturn's around 3 a.m., Jupiter's up by 4, and they're getting earlier every night. By next month, it's going to be more like 2 and 3 a.m., and they're pretty bright. So if you're an early morning riser and you've been noticing a bright star in the east, that's been Jupiter. And up comes the sun, and we can't see anything anymore. We do have a couple of other planets. They're both really close to the sun. Mercury is going to get much better next week, and early in May, we'll be able to see Venus a little bit better. If I turn off the light from the sun right here, you can see what I mean. We've got Mercury and Venus both really, really close to the sun, so it makes them really hard to spot them in the early evening sky. That's when we'd be watching them, in the early evening sky. So, and in a regular day with sun shining as normal, we would watch the sun move across the sky. That's what it does. And then we could watch it set in the west. Got a really close field of view here. Let's go back out a little bit, maybe there, and see if we can't spot those evening planets. So let's let the sun go down. That was too much. Oh, we've got that tree in the way. I'll bet you they're behind that tree. That's where we'd probably be able to see them. But notice it's going to be, by the time it gets dark enough, it's really hard to spot those two planets. So we've got the Lyrids on April 22nd, either early morning or late night on the 21st. We've got the moon moving through the Zodiac constellations, and we've got our days getting longer. So happy sky watching, and I'll see you next time.